How are you guys? As always, it's a pleasure to have you here on the other side of the screen. And as you read in the title, today we're going to see why semi-aquatic turtles are a terrible pet. And look, if it's your dream to have a semi-aquatic turtle or you want to buy one for your child, go ahead. Just keep in mind these considerations that we're going to see in the following video. Also, if you want me to do the same with tortoises, let me know. And of course, I'm generalizing a lot. Each species is different. Their diet, space, size, among other things. So please always do your research on the particular species. And of course, remember to get captive bred specimens and check the legalities in your country. Knowing all this, my name is Ismail Chi, and let's get started. First of all, before getting a semi-aquatic turtle, please do your research. Don't just go to the market and buy a turtle for 100 pesos and then get home and say, now what the heck do I do? You put it in a container with blue stones, no filters, you only feed it lettuce, and it dies after 2 months. And during those 2 months, it was suffering, stressed, and malnourished, which led to its death. So please, before getting any animal, do your research. The first reason why semi-aquatic turtles are a bad choice is because they get too big. Of course, it depends a lot on the species. There are stink pot turtles that only grow up to 10 centimeters, which is relatively small. The most common ones, which are the red-eared slider turtles, can grow up to 25 or 30 centimeters in the case of females. So you need to do a lot of research. In the case of alligator snapping turtles, well, I don't even have to tell you, right? They're semi-aquatic monsters. So yes, really keep in mind the size they're going to reach. The general rule, as I've always told you, is for every inch of length, or every 2.5 centimeters of shell length, they're going to need the equivalent of a 10-gallon tank, or 38 to 40 liters, which is huge. If you have a fully grown red-eared slider turtle and it reaches 30 centimeters or 12 inches, you're going to need a 120-gallon tank or the equivalent of 480 liters. Just so you keep that in mind. Then this is a very long commitment. 30, 40, even 50 years in captivity or in the wild. Red-eared slider turtles. They can live up to 20 years, but of course, that's in captivity with optimal care. They can live twice as long, even 3 times as long. So keep that in mind and know that it's a very long-term commitment, practically for life. Now that we've taken the aquatic area into account, let's remember that these are semi-aquatic, which means they also need a dry area. An area where they can rest out of the water, where they can bask in the sun or under their heat lamps and UVB light. As we know, UVB light is extremely important. Basically, it mimics some rays of the sun, which will allow them to produce the active form of vitamin D, and it will help with the absorption of calcium in the intestines and other various minerals. And this will help prevent various metabolic bone diseases or those related to calcium absorption and limb formation. These UVB light bulbs should be replaced every 6 months. And we also need heat lamps. Let's remember that reptiles are ectotherms, meaning their internal temperature depends a lot. Well, it completely depends on the ambient temperature and their metabolic rate. So heat is very important as well. And of course, you don't usually just grab the turtle and throw it into the tank. First of all, we have to cycle the tank and provide proper filtration. And also, just so you keep it in mind, speaking of filtration, cleaning, and spraying the smell, basically, turtles have a very particular odor. They poop a lot, they pee a lot. I don't know if you've ever been to a clinic and seen that they have turtles and it smells kind of weird. That smell is normal, and you'll have to deal with it for 30, 40, 50 years. So keep that in mind. Maybe reconsider getting a semi-aquatic turtle. Let's move on to diet quickly. And this is one of the most overlooked points in the hobby. Usually people buy a bag of pellets and grab some lettuce and boom. That's it, but that's not how it should be. The diet of semi-aquatic turtles is incredibly varied. They are omnivores and will eat a lot of protein. This is key. Tilapia, shrimp, worms, invertebrates, captive bred insects, tadpoles, diaminates, free fish, live prey, even pinky mice. You can of course give fruits, vegetables, and some aquatic plants. Variety is key as always, and of course provide a source of calcium like a cuttle bone. This is also important for good bone and limb development. So yes, variety is key. These are omnivores. Don't give them iceberg lettuce, or I'll kick your ass. Well, not really, but please give your turtle a good life. And of course, take the species into account. The diet for a map turtle won't be the same as for a mata-mata turtle. Size, the prey, among other things. So please, do your research. A few extra things quickly. Don't buy artificial things like rocks. Blue and pink rocks, which I'll be showing you here. Buy very fine sand. The more natural, the better. Please don't buy artificial things. And of course, also be careful with the weird objects you might end up buying. On the ramps, I've seen that sometimes artificial grass is used. Artificial. Um, this usually makes turtles get confused and eat it, and then they get blockages and have to have surgery or die. So don't use anything artificial. Try to make sure everything is natural and do a lot of research. I didn't go into details about things like temperatures or water depth in the tank because that's going to vary between each species, depending on how shy they are or how much they like to be on their land area. So keep that in mind and do your research. And of course, doing water changes is also very important. These need to be partial. Don't throw out all the water as we want to keep the beneficial bacteria that break down ammonia and nitrate. Sanitize, sanitardo, sanitary. But anyway, that's the nitrogen cycle, which is also very important for you to know if you have an aquarium, and also to do water quality checks. Like I said, ammonia, nitrites, nitrates, hardness, pH, and temperature are also very important, but that will depend on each species. And it will also depend a lot on whether you have an indoor aquarium, an outdoor aquarium, algae growth, among other things. What I want you to learn in this video is that doing your research is very important. And I think that's clear now. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions about any specific species, let me know in the comments. And that's all. As I always say, remember to follow me and love nature.